Have you ever felt like you just want a truly quiet morning? No packed schedule, no car horns, no feeling of chasing everything just to keep up with life. A lot of people watching today are probably right there. When living costs keep rising, everything feels louder, and what people need most is no longer excitement, it's stability. It's room to breathe. It's the feeling that you actually own your time again. That's exactly why this channel exists. Europe on Sale is not about luxury stories, and it's not about painting a perfect dream. We look for real homes, options that can actually work in real life, or at least have a clear path to slowly turn them into something decent and livable. We choose places with transparent information, clear photos, and surroundings you can actually check, not to convince you to buy, but to help you see the full picture before you decide anything. In today's video, we're looking at two properties in two completely different regions of Italy. Both are priced far below the general market, starting from around 9,000 euros. That alone might make you stop and wonder what they look like, whether they're good, and whether they could fit you. The first one takes us to Abruzzo, to a small town called Castelvecchio Subequo. It opens up to valleys and mountain ranges right next to a natural park. The home itself is not large, but it has a balcony and the feel of a village where community life still exists. You step outside and basic daily needs are close by. It works well for someone looking for quiet, a slower pace, and a sense of safety where life still feels familiar. The second property is in Piedmont, in the town of Montemagno, set among the wine hills of Monferrato. This one is noticeably larger. It has multiple bedrooms, a cellar, a shared courtyard, and it sits right in the center of the village. If you've ever imagined a place for weekends or a home to support a calmer, more settled phase of life, Montemagno carries that kind of peace. And of course, at prices like these, there are always things to stay aware of. Mostly renovation, insulation, moisture, and paperwork when dealing with traditional village homes. But that's only part of the picture. We'll cover just enough so you know what to check, not to make you anxious. If you're looking for a retirement option, a second home, or simply want to truly understand what cheap homes in Europe actually look like, this video's for you. And now let's start with the first property in Abruzzo. Castelvecchio Subequo is a small town in the heart of Abruzzo, where life feels like it moves slower than the rest of Italy. This is not the kind of place that impresses you right away. It's a place you need time to feel. Mornings start quietly, no constant traffic noise, just sunlight slipping through stone streets and a few local shops opening at their own pace. People know each other here. Daily life follows old but steady routines, and that creates a very particular sense of calm and safety that feels deeply Italian. Within that setting, the house we're looking at today sits right in the town's center. It doesn't stand out, it doesn't isolate itself, it blends into the rhythm of the community around it. What makes people stop and look twice is the price. Around 10,000 euros for a home in Italy sounds almost unreal. Even for a place like Castelvecchio Subequo, this sits well below the usual market level. The house offers roughly 50 square meters of space with 2 bedrooms. It's not large, but the layout is simple and easy to live with. One of the key highlights is the 2 balconies. They open the space up and look out over the Subequo Valley and the nearby mountains. This is not a view meant to impress anyone. It's the kind of view that reminds you every morning that you're living close to nature, not surrounded by concrete or crowding. The home has independent radiator heating and a working fireplace. That matters if you're planning to stay for longer periods, especially during colder months. There's also something quietly nostalgic about it. It naturally slows things down and makes the space feel more relaxed. The overall condition is described as needing some light renovation, mostly familiar things: refreshing the interior, finishing the bathroom properly, and taking care of a few details to bring the space closer to modern living comfort. This is not a rushed renovation project. It's the kind of home you improve gradually based on real needs over time. Location-wise, this is a clear strength. Within a short walk, you have a supermarket, a pharmacy, a small local bar, and village food shops. The train station is only a short drive away. A hospital sits within a reasonable distance. The sea is farther, but still close enough for a day trip when you want a change of scenery. Everything is close enough to be convenient, yet far enough to protect the quiet character of the town. From a financial perspective, the price per square meter is extremely low compared to the surrounding area. This kind of property suits someone looking for a retirement option, a second home, or simply a small asset to hold value over the long term. It doesn't promise fast profit. What it offers instead is stability and a genuine sense of ownership. Of course, with low-priced homes in historic villages, technical checks and paperwork always matter. Some upgrades can end up costing more than expected if you're not careful. But these factors are only one part of the full picture, and they can be managed if you approach things the right way. So when you imagine your life here, what stands out more to you? The inconvenience or the sense of relief that comes when life becomes simpler? Montemagno sits on the gentle hills of Piedmont in a landscape shaped by vineyards, wine, and a very traditional way of life. This is the kind of village where you don't really need directions because everything revolves around one central square. Mornings usually start with a few short conversations outside the bakery. Midday slows things down, and in the evening, people head home after a calm, unhurried day. The place doesn't feel isolated. It feels like a small, close community where people are simply used to living near one another. Our second home today is located right in the center of Montemagno. You don't need to go deep into remote areas or deal with difficult mountain roads. You step outside and you're already in the middle of everyday village life. The asking price is what really makes people pause. Around 9,000 euros for a two-level house in the Monferrato wine hills is not something you see often. But just like the first home, this number is not about marketing. It reflects a property that truly needs to be brought back to life. The house offers roughly 120 square meters of space, spread across two main floors and a semi-underground level. This layout gives you significantly more room than the previous home. 3 bedrooms allow for flexibility, whether that's for family, guests, or simply keeping personal space separate. There is also a balcony that looks into a shared courtyard. It's a small detail, but it brings in natural light and gives the living area a more open feel. The semi-underground level includes a wine cellar and storage rooms. For anyone familiar with homes in Piedmont, this is very typical. It's practical, everyday space, perfect for storing local wine or seasonal items. The property is listed as needing full renovation, but the generous size and clear layout make it easier to rethink the space as a whole, instead of patching things up piece by piece. When it comes to daily convenience, Montemagno has a real advantage compared to many small villages. A pharmacy, local markets, and basic shops are all within walking distance. The city of Asti is about a short drive away, offering a major hospital and stronger transport connections. Train stations and main roads are not right next door, but they're close enough for regular trips. Both the sea and ski areas are within reasonable driving distance, making short getaways very doable. From a financial perspective, the price per square meter is extremely low compared to the wider Asti area and the Monferrato region. This is not a property you move into immediately. It suits someone with a long-term view, who accepts renovation as part of the ownership journey. It could become a weekend home, a part-time residence, or simply a place to hold value over time in an inflation-driven world. Of course, renovating a traditional village house always requires careful planning, both legally and financially. But those challenges don't take away from the core value of this property: space, location, and the potential to reshape life at a slower pace. When you place these two homes side by side, the question is no longer which one is cheaper, it's which one fits the way you want to live in the years ahead. We've just gone through a rather special journey. Not because these homes are perfect, but because of the feeling they leave behind. And when you look back, what stays with you is not really which house is nicer or bigger. It's the question of choice. Owning a place to live, or owning a place that weighs on you. Some homes make you feel lighter because they stay within your control. They give you a simple, manageable foundation to step into a life with less pressure. But there are also homes that, even with a very low price, can become a burden if you enter without preparation. Not because they are bad, but because they ask for more than what the initial number suggests. Doubt is completely natural. If you come from markets where even a small apartment means a heavy loan, then prices like 10,000 euros or 9,000 euros sound unreal. But in many quiet corners of Italy, value is not shaped by speculation or quarterly price races. It's shaped by local life, population movement, and a simple truth: not every place needs to become a hotspot. Those towns still exist, and because of that, prices like these still exist too. When you look at the real advantages, it becomes easier to see why these options appeal to many people. Living costs in small towns are usually more manageable, from daily expenses to basic upkeep. Taxes and ownership fees are rarely the kind that keep you tense every month. More importantly, you can renovate step by step at your own pace. You're not forced to make everything perfect right away. Here, value lives in sustainability, in the ability to live long-term without constantly feeling pushed forward by costs. Of course, homes like these still require thought. They're not for people who want everything ready on day one, but they never promise that either. Their value is honesty. You look at them and understand this is a foundation, a place that can truly become a home if you step in calmly with a clear and reasonable plan. Not to show off, not to prove anything, but simply to live. Try to imagine an ordinary day after owning a place like this. You open the window. Cool morning air flows in. Light slowly shifts across old rooftops. You step outside. A few steps and you're already part of town life. A small cafe, a neighbor, a short conversation with no rush. You return in the afternoon. The house doesn't need to shine, but it's enough to make you feel like you belong. Nothing dramatic happens, and that is exactly what makes it valuable. So what part of today's journey stays with you the longest? A specific house, or the feeling of a life with less tension? Would you choose ownership that feels lighter, or do these options still feel like they ask for too much patience? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We truly read every single one. And if you'd like to keep walking these journeys with us, you can subscribe so you don't miss future videos, because maybe, at some point, you'll come across a place that truly fits you.